Hey, pal, how are you today?
Greetings, my friend. Happy Mosconi season.
Uh, it's happy Thanksgiving season, really. And Mosconi just happens to fall into line, right?
I
Let's
celebrate one a little bit more than the other.
um but yeah, it's Mosconi Cup season. It's a good week to be a fan of pool. It's a fun exhibition
It's
and
our Super Bowl, you would say, yeah?
I think it's more like an all-star game because it's an exhibition and it's
Right,
team,
right.
right? Where pool is not really a team sport per se. Um, I'm not knocking it though. I love it. It's a great event. It's got some quirky things that don't make sense, but we can get into that later. Well, how's your week? All right.
Doing good, doing good.
All right. Let's get into it because it's for you and I. It's the middle of the night. Uh, the kids at home probably think it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Little do they
Uh,
know it's 2:30 in the morning.
but that's the beauty of this show. You watch it at your own leisure.
Uh, and the beauty of the show is we can record it at our own leisure too. But I'm ready for bed. So, all right. So what do we got up? Number one.
Well, Jay, I don't know if you know this, but I have a great show that I do by myself called the Tang Clan. And I spoke in depth about the event in Puerto Rico a couple weeks ago. And I think what I'm getting to is we are both major fans of Kristina Tkatch. And she brought
Major.
home her first World 10-ball trophy. I guess her first non WPBA trophy on more of a global scale championship, you
Right.
can say. And what those of you who haven't saw it, what a match, man! Over 4 hours with her
Yeah, it was
and
a battle.
Sosoa.
Yeah, it was a battle, and I couldn't be more happier for her.
Yeah,
I've said it a million times. I started following her when she was 15, from the motherland over there, and 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 have spoken to her 100 times, maybe more, uh, and hung out with her at a few tournaments around the country. Very happy for her. She's so deserving of it, and she's such a great ambassador for the sport.
yeah,
She
yeah.
always has a positive attitude. She's always smiling. She's always happy for the pool world, right? And if she doesn't like something, she's not talking about it. She doesn't. She's not ranting about it. I'm sure she talks about it, but she's not doing it publicly. Uh, it's actually I don't want to go too far off on the tangent, but actually the pair of them, Fillers, I'm sorry, not Filler. Gorst is the same way. He's I see his social media posts. He's hawking things, but he's doing it in a good way. He's not selling tchotchkes. He's selling things that
Right, right.
you'd want to buy as a fan of the sport, right? I saw that he had balls. I don't know how much he was selling the balls for, but I saw that he had the balls for the Mosconi Cup team that he was doing, and he had all the guys get in the picture, which was cool. And it's cool that they support him that way. That is like if we had a king and a queen, like like Princess Diana and Charles, whatever his name is, or like if we could replace the Kardashians, I think it would be these two. They are the king and queen of pool. Uh, and not to take anything away from Mr. and Mrs. Filler or Mr. and Mrs. whatever their name is over there in the Midwest, but these two are representing the sport in a great
Yeah,
way.
and
And
they're out there living the luxury life too, and I think that's what
bro,
people want to see:
they are
fine
living
dining and
life.
Tiffany
If
jewelry
you
and all
don't
that stuff.
follow their page, you got to. If you want to live vicariously through somebody, live vicariously through these two
Yeah,
because they are going living the high life. Good for them. I mean, they obviously can afford it. Uh, Gorse has made, on paper, he's made over 500,000 in wins, and then whatever sponsorships are, you know, the guy is probably close to three-quarter of his million
yeah.
uh, for the year, and this weekend he's going to pick up another 20,000. Did you hear my prediction right there?
I heard 20,000.
Yeah.
It's second
Uh,
place money.
He's going to pick up second place money. So
Yeah,
it's 20 grand that he didn't have, before he got
of
to
course, of course.
Disneyland, Disney World.
And they, besides Kristina in Puerto Rico, man, it was like her little clique with Fedor and their buddy Vitaly Patsura. Vitaly won the men's 10 ball. Fedor
Yeah.
was in the Challenge of Champions, and the three of them all close buds together. And it's like they just dominated that whole weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. Another good guy, Vitaly. You remember I met him down
Yeah,
in Philadelphia a couple months ago. Good guy. I like when players that I find to be good for the sport or that I'm
right.
fans of. It just makes the win so much more special. That she has captured a world title is awesome. Excuse me, and she's done it at such a young age that there's nothing that says she couldn't win three more or five more. I mean, she's in her early 20s,
Yeah.
So
She's still climbing. She hasn't even hit her
yeah,
peak yet.
yeah. And technically, I mean, how many? And I'm not saying this to discount her. I'm not trying to do that, but discount her ability. But I mean, technically, if you look at what her top competition is, Kelly Fisher, how many more years will she be able to play
Yeah,
at that peak level, right? At the peak level that she's at now. It might be another 10 or 15, but Margaret could be playing another 40, right?
yeah.
Or she could have babies and not play anymore. Who knows? Who knows? I doubt that that's the plan, but it could be.
I think we've seen with Savannah and Margaret, or I'm sorry, Kristina and Margaret, and now Savannah, that they're getting so good so young. You're going to have these large blocks of them, whereas
Yeah,
Kelly Fishers and the Laurie Johns and the Iwa Matayas you had in small doses over the years. I think it's going to be so much more plentiful now for them.
yeah. I'm very happy for her. All right, let's move on.
Yeah, it's in the same vein of first time champions. We can kick it right to the WPBA, and Pia Filler won her first women's title in WPBA.
Another great ambassador for the sport.
And she took down Fefalova, so that's no easy win for her. That's a
Yeah.
solid win.
And it was solid across the board. It was all solid players there. I mean, there was a couple,
Yeah,
donators, but good for her. Good for Pia. The cool thing about Pia's career is if you've only been really following the last 3 or 4 years, you can really see the progression
the
of her
growth.
getting better.
Yeah.
I say with Margaret, but I think it's more prevalent with Pia, where you can really see her when she first started playing big events. I would say 3 years ago, 4 years ago, she was a little shaky. But where now she's a name to be reckoned with if you see her, if you're going to that tournament, you see her, you say, oh, that's a big name, right? So good
I
for
think
her.
last year in that team event where she won that sudden death match with her overtime shot, I think she's been on a trajectory like this, man. She's just
Yeah,
been climbing and climbing.
yeah. And she's also, in my opinion, she's personality-wise totally different than
Yeah,
Margaret. But again, in my opinion, she's awesome too. Even though their personalities are so much, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. Even though their personalities are so much different, they're both awesome, right?
they're a little less
Um,
flashy, but they still they make you want to like them.
yeah, and yeah, I mean, people killing filler about the dumbest things. Uh, can't get on that. I can't get on. I can't get on the dumb train. So many people are on the dumb train with nobody tells you how to go to work
Yeah,
every day. You know.
exactly. That's one
Um,
thing you shouldn't tell a man how to do is how to earn his money.
yeah. So he made a mistake. It's not the end of the world. It's not
He's
a reason to
26.
say you're not his fan anymore. Come on.
He's 26 years old. The first person to tell me they didn't fuck up at 26, we got some
Make
prizes
mistakes.
for you.
I made a huge mistake last week. Huge. Um, I'm not going to get into what it was. A huge mistake.
Well, it could have been that bad. You're not married.
But you're right. It's not that big. But I did make a big mistake last week. And listen, I'm in my 50s. I still make mistakes. And if it was online like filler thing was, I would be getting murdered too.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, when I made the mistake, I apologized. The apology was accepted, and it was water under the bridge, right? Really, once I apologized, we talked about it, and I apologized. It was really no big deal. Now, last week when I made the mistake, I wasn't, I beat myself up about it. But luckily, the person I made the mistake with, I felt confident that we had a good enough relationship that I didn't burn any bridges. And it turns out I didn't burn any bridges. And people make mistakes.
Yeah.
There's so many. I always say this. I too am guilty of this. Just because you have the ability to leave comments doesn't mean you should. You know what I mean? Just because there's access to leave comments.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sometimes guilty of that too.
I'm a chronic type and deleter.
Yeah. I did. I blew up somebody today on their own post. You might have saw it on my personal page. I had it earlier, laughing at this company that is an expert in social media, which they did the dumbest thing ever. And then I called them out for it on the post, saying, essentially, you guys are idiots. But so good for Margaret.
Good for Pia.
Good for Pia.
Good for all of them.
How's that? Hey, let's see how that looks. Hold on 1 second now. I should have this, but having this second iPad is a lot easier. Let's see how that stacks out with money now. How much do you probably don't know off the top of your head how much she won. They're not big.
Yeah, those WPBAs ain't much.
Not big. And then you got to sell lottery tickets. What are they? For the motorcycle. Remember that? We were laughing about that a couple months ago.
Oh, yeah. That when they had that doubles tournament. And then they're hawking items halfway through the broadcast.
Which is so silly. Here we go. So starting with Kristina. Oh. What is it called? It's not even on here.
It's called Capital City.
No, the World Championship. What was that called?
Oh,
the Women's World 9 Ball. No, it was 10 ball.
Women's World 10 Ball. Yeah,
it's not even on here.
Pro Billiard Series.
Why would AZ Billiards have that on the money list?
I don't know. Maybe because they're getting more WNT shilling every day.
But the other one is on here with Pia. So Pia won. Not bad, 8,000.
Yeah.
I mean, for what we would normally expect from that organization, and I'm not saying that negative, I'm just saying what the norm is. 8,000 is not bad for first place there, which puts her. I mean, when you think about it this way, puts her at 28,000 for the year. 8,000 of that was last week. And that is her second win this year. She also won in Talon, the Predator vet Talon. So good for her. She's 61 on the money list, Pia. And let's see how the women stacks out. Kristina at number 1 at 84. Cho from Taipei, 72. Amit from Philippines at 59. I'm rounding off. Wee Wee at 50. And Chen at 49. That's your top 5. Let's see how we're doing on the bet now. Margaret has 40,000. So he's going to get 20,000 this weekend anyway, so he's going to win. Yeah.
Unless he gets a hangnail.
Oh no! The bet we weren't counting Mosconi, if you remember. We were not going to include Mosconi.
Yeah, because that could easily eclipse her.
Yeah. Why is my thing not moving? All right, men. What did I say? You have 40, right? It's moving. Where is he? He is not in the top 15. Well, let me just pick men. Weird. All right. He's not in the top 15. He's got to be in a. She's at 40, I said, right?
Yeah.
Man, this internet is slow. I don't know if it's my internet or. All right. He is not. What can that be? No, that's not 30. But Billy Thorpe is. Am I missing his name? Oh, I really need it. Oh, here he should be. He's 30. Oh! Oh, we got a race. Did she play any tournaments this year? We got a race here. He's 35th and at 47,000. She's only 7,000 behind.
Yeah, she takes one home. She's right there.
I'm sure there's a Sunweb fan coming up, right?
Yeah, there's got to be.
Oh yeah, there's December 11th.
Yep.
In Wisconsin.
Oh, that's her home.
Yeah, she's gonna beat him at event.
She's gonna beat him at home.
Oh, could you imagine, bro?
Oh, poor guy.
Oh, I started to tell you. Oh, it's on that. I can't tell you. It's on that. I spoke to Mickey yesterday, briefly. About something. You know what I talked to him. I'm not going to say it here, but and I wished him luck. I said, obviously I'm going to root for Team USA, but I wish you luck. It's your first one. It's an exciting time. I said, oh yeah, I hope you do well. And I said, I hope you do especially well against Tyler. Score a lot of points. Then I said something else. I won't say it. I'll send it to you. Oh. Do you want to talk about that briefly, or what happened?
Let's.
We should talk about it. I don't want to murder. I'm not going to.
Before we move on, let's close out the WPBA.
All right.
We got Pia and Margaret as your runner-up. Kelly Fisher third. Big event for Savannah. She had a top 5. So wow. I think that's her first out of the top 10. I would say. Curious
to see what she does. Did she go to college first? Yeah. Like April went to college, but she went to a school that had pool. They don't have it anymore.
I wholeheartedly think she needs to go juniors and then just live life as a kid. Let the adult's going to be there. You can always come back to it.
That's what I mean. So do you go to college? I mean, maybe she has no intention to go to college, but do you stop the career for college? Do you recognize now that being a professional pool player, when she's an adult, isn't of today anyway? Yeah. Maybe could change in 10 years, but it's not a very luxurious.
She can sit at a desk and make more money than being a pool player.
Right. All right, look what Kennedy did. She bought a league. I mean, brilliant.
Yeah.
18 years old, bought a league. Or bought a franchiser. I don't know if it was already existing. Smart, invest it into a business that will earn her money while still being able to play. Although has she been playing lately? I don't feel like I've seen her name. Maybe she has.
I think she had a couple early exits. I think she was out of that pro billiard series pretty quick.
Yeah. And it's not easy running the league.
Yeah. Plus, she's from Vegas, and there's so many things going on in Vegas that she can play off the radar.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're talking, yeah. Yeah, there's nothing. I mean, Florian owns a league there. He owns APA in Vegas, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's other. She could own a BCA or I don't know, whatever other one there are. But time will tell, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look, April went to college and Chris went to college. Now they both went to colleges that had pool, had a pool program with Mark Wilson. Unfortunately, that school got rid of that program. I don't think it was a very special school. It's the school, you know. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think the generation now, that 20-year-olds now, generally speaking, have decided that college isn't the end all be all.
Yeah.
Right. But who knows? She may want to be an engineer, and then you have to.
Yeah. Right.
Then you have to. Let me tell you a story real quick. A friend of mine just graduated from college, and she's an engineer. I want to say mechanical engineer. Okay. And listen, what do I know about engineers? But I think you got to be pretty smart about that, right? So I was with her a couple weeks ago, and I told her to go around the block. We were doing a photo shoot. She's a model, a beautiful model, beautiful. Anyway, I told her to go around the block, go to the next block, and go around because they were one-way streets. And she said, "Why do I have to go to the next block?" I said, "Because they're one-way streets." She didn't know. This is mind-boggling to me because she just graduated as an engineer. She didn't know that if this street goes that way, the next one goes that way. She didn't know that. I was listening by that. I'm not laughing at her, but I am a little bit. I love her. She graduated mechanical engineering. Let's say it's mechanical engineering. And she didn't know that one-way streets worked out. I was blown away by that.
Oh, you mean the even numbers aren't on both sides?
It's weird, right? That you don't.
I don't know. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe she's so book smart that the streets make absolutely no sense.
This girl is so beautiful that the last thing and I'm not knocking her profession, but the last thing you think she's going to be is an engineer. Like when you look at her, she should be, in New York City in front of a camera all day, and that she's an engineer. I'm very proud of her. I'm glad that she did that. I don't know what a mechanical engineer does. I build buildings or something. But good for her. Good for her. And then she just got 5 minutes of me talking about her and one-way streets today. Oh, she's such a cool chick. She drives a motorcycle that is twice her size. I'm sure you've seen the picture because it's on my other page.
Yeah.
She's this tiny little thing, and then she's on this big motorcycle. I don't even know how she holds it up, quite frankly. But all right, let's move on. Let's talk about the Mickey thing very quickly.
The Mickey thing.
If you don't know what we're talking about, which we have a tendency of getting into things and forgetting to tell you guys at home what the hell we're talking about, why don't you say it? Because you're the one who found it.
So Carl Boyce put out a video of, from the Reyes Cup of Team Europe, hanging out in the practice room. And there was a joke made by Mickey Krause and hammed on by Jason Shaw and Francisco Sanchez Ruiz. It was in the nature of Jesus Christ. He was making fun of Jesus Christ on the cross.
That wasn't Matchroom Mosconi related. That was done in the Philippines?
That was right.
Oh,
right.
I thought that was this week. Okay.
So as somebody who I'm not a dick. I make jokes as
A
much as the
little bit
next
you're a dick.
guy.
A little bit you're a dick.
Midweek, I'm a dick.
Okay. All right.
But look, where I draw the line is pedophilia and Jesus Christ humor. To me, those are two things that are off limits. So I took a little bit of offense to it. I posted about it in my stories, and quite a few people, man, I feel the same way. I'm Christian also, so I kind of took offense to this. We talked about it briefly. You actually messaged him, and he was very
Well,
remorseful.
let me.
I'll let you go
Yeah,
ahead. Go ahead. You
I
can
didn't
take that
message him.
part.
I didn't message him. So as the story progresses, I've been out of pocket pool wise the last couple of weeks, and Rob messaged me and said, "What do you think of this?" I'm kind of just shorting up the story. What do you think about this? I thought about it for a minute. Now, Jesus is not my guy. I'm a different religion. But I
That's why
tried.
I reached out to you, because I felt like, look, you're Jewish. Maybe you have a
Right.
different take on this than I do.
Uh, so I tried to apply it like if it was against Judaism, um, and then I tried to apply it if it was against Islam. I try to think of it that way. And I can certainly see where someone would get easily offended. I can also, this is my opinion. I'm not trying to convince you to change your opinion or anybody really. And I think it was absolutely done in poor taste because if you can, here's kind of how I was going to write this and then I didn't do it. Because if you have no problem uh, attacking a religion or making fun of a religion, in this case it was Jesus, uh, then why tomorrow? Then tomorrow it's okay to be racist,
Yeah. Where does it end? Yeah.
whatever. Well, it doesn't end, right?
Yeah.
I think it was done in poor taste, right? Um, and what I I thought about it for a good, I don't know, 10 minutes from when we talked, and I took Rob sent me the clip. I watched the clip, watched it twice, make sure I didn't miss anything. Uh, Really, I think in my opinion, I don't want to go too deep on this, but Mickey's is in a situation that's new to him, right? He's
Yeah.
around all
Yeah.
these monster players, right?
We've
He's
all
trying
been
to
on the
fit
team before.
in.
Yeah.
He's trying to fit in. He's trying to, right? I actually think Jason Shaw is the bigger,
He's the
uh,
antagonist.
right,
Yeah.
in that. And as I said to you yesterday, and I don't disagree with what your response was it yesterday or the day before? Was, you know, people are always going to make jokes that are going to offend somebody about something, always, right? And why I would have done it, and I don't think it should be done, they're going to do it. And that's a video that should not have been made public, in
Yeah.
my opinion. I think it's a bad look for the sport. I think it's a bad look for Matchroom, and I think it's a horrible look for Mickey. So I thought about it for a minute, and I said, is this a main page post or is this a story post? And ultimately, I decided uh, it needs to be brought to light. But because it's right, I'm gonna. My thought process was, let me give him the benefit of the doubt, right? Let me give him the benefit of the doubt, and let me not blow him up main page a couple days before Mosconi. I mean, why.
Yeah.
Why ruin his Mosconi Cup,
Because that's
right?
fucking with
He
him.
made a
Yeah.
mistake. That's how I looked at it, giving him the benefit of the doubt. And up to that point, I hadn't spoken. I haven't said a word. Okay, I have a rule, always had a rule, that during an event or leading up to an event, especially a big one, I just don't reach out to players unless they first. Okay. So I did post on it and said, this is, in my opinion, this was done in poor taste, and that I literally said, you're a professional pool player, you should act like it. And because I don't shy away from nothing, everybody knows this who follows my page. I tagged him. I tagged him as big as could be.
Yeah.
And I was very impressed that within 2 minutes of me tagging him, he reached out to me and I'll send you the. He literally had no idea what I was talking about. He didn't know that it was online. He didn't. He he was remorseful, very regretting it. But he had no idea that it was made public. And I said to him, right, when you'll see it in the message, I said, Carl Boyes really screwed you with this, because Carl has no compass. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's his
I mean,
cameraman.
Carl,
That's his
right,
channel.
right.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that? Carl, you think it's funny, but Christians don't. Imagine it was Muhammad.
Right.
With I mean, because really, it could be Muhammad. Why is it any different? Because if you are Islam or Muslim, I guess is I don't know.
Yeah,
If
you're
you're
right.
part of that religion, it's really no different. If it was, I don't know if this is an equal equation, but if he was talking about the Holocaust, making fun of the Holocaust, it's not
that's
cool.
the same line. Yeah.
It's not cool, right? So I think number one, the impression I got. So he and I talked briefly, a few minutes, not long. Genuinely, you'll see, remorseful. Wish he hadn't done it, and definitely wish it wasn't made public. But really, I think the two culprits in this whole thing, while he made the joke, so he took responsibility for it. It's really Jason and Carl that are the knuckleheads.
Yeah.
In this whole thing, right? Equal blame, but those two are really knuckleheads. But what I did say to him, I didn't want to leave it like I was attacking him. Because he was legitimately remorseful and regret it based on the conversation we had, I took the post down. And I told him, he didn't ask me to. I did it on my own.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, by the way, I took the post down. I believe you.
And you know what? That's your page. That's your thought. That's 100% acceptable.
Right. Because the other thing is he could have saw it and not responded.
Yeah.
But because I think he responded because legitimately he didn't know what I was talking about. I'm essentially calling him out, right? So I said, by the way, you got a lot of things to worry about this week. Mosconi Cup, it's your first one. I know it's a big deal. This is the last thing that you should be thinking about. You should all eyes on the cup. I said I'm gonna be cheering for you. I'm obviously gonna cheer for Team USA, but I want to see you do well. I'm a fan of yours, and I want to see you do well. I said, and do me a favor, when you score points, I can't wait to show you. I can't wait to show you. When you do score the points, even though I'm rooting for Team USA because I'm an American, please murder Tyler because he's a jerk. And that's how we left it. So,
you know what? Just to close on this, and then we'll stop beating this horse. I kind of felt like I was under the impression that he had done it multiple times because Jason Shaw was like, do the thing. And he went and did the crucifix thing. But it's really like he's upset. He's remorseful. Like I understand that. I get that. But obviously this was a month ago. It's like, were you remorseful back then after it happened, or you're just remorseful now that you were caught?
And you can easily say that, right?
Yeah.
The other thing that I told you yesterday, when did we talk about this yesterday? I feel like it was like a long. Yeah. I feel like it was like a week ago. As we've all made dumb jokes.
Of course.
A couple months ago, I said something to one of my really good friends. She got crazy offended, and now we're not friends anymore. And it's the same. The funny thing about it is, my sense of humor didn't change suddenly that day. It was the same dumb joke I always made. But that day, for whatever reason, she got crazy offended, and now we're not friends. And I'm actually happy that we're not friends because for a lot of reasons. But the biggest thing is I've got to change my humor because you don't like what I said. I told you about that when I told her. So whatever. I get it. But I also want to give people the benefit of the doubt, and sometimes you get caught up in the moment.
Yeah.
And So it was not a good look, but I don't think it's something we need to.
If it
Go.
happens again, we're
Yeah,
sending the Vatican after him.
Yeah, then we'll crush his nuts with a nutcracker, right? You got to do that though, not me. I'll hold him, but you got to do it.
Yeah, that's an Italian thing anyway. Yeah. We do that shit.
Yeah. So my opinion is, and you guys at home may have a different opinion, and maybe it's easier for me to say this because I'm Jewish. I don't know. But not a reason. It's not the like. I try to kind of think about other ways. You can. I don't want to say it, but for those of you who know the Oscar comment from a few years ago and how over the top that was.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it because it's not appropriate, but and he was legitimately regretful. And you know what? At the time that he made that joke, Oscar, I don't know, it's probably been 10 years now. I never thought he would even remotely be considered for a matchroom event again. Where I guess they have forgiven him and moved on. So
yeah,
people make mistakes.
Yeah.
So
just when they continuously happen, that's when we can really lay into them. But we'll give everybody a mulligan.
They have the nutcracker right here. All right, let's move on. Bro, I'm so tired. What's next on the agenda?
International.
Fuck the international.
Wait.
I have said at least 100 times, the international is my favorite event to go to out of all the events. And I've been to all the events, all the major ones I've been to. And I've been to international 5 times, at least. Maybe more, but at least 5 times.
It was always June, right?
No, it was September.
Oh, okay.
September, October. Oh, no, end of September. No, it's always around Halloween. Not September, October. It's always around Halloween. Okay. Let me tell you why today I'm saying fuck international. And I like the people who run it. Sandman runs it. Pat runs it. Renfro's a part of it. I like all those guys. Mad respect for all of them. They run a great tournament. They were the guys that were running. If you don't know the story, the International is really the U.S. Open. When they sold the U.S. Open, they rebranded it to the International. Yeah. Okay. The last time I went with Mark White, as you know, and we had a blast a few years ago. This is why today I'm saying fuck the international. Imagine you guys at home. Imagine you're watching a football game. But imagine you show up to the football game 5 minutes into the first quarter. Now, the first thing that you would do is find your seat. And the second thing you would do, and you might go the opposite way. It depends who you are. Is you're going to look for the score, right? Who are we winning? Did we get a touchdown? When you leave the game, you're going to look at the scoreboard. Why can't you just tell us who won? Like you have 15, 20 people at the International running that event. Easily that many. You might have more. Nobody can post who won an event, who won an event. To get scores is like ridiculous.
For it being a WNT event now, why the hell aren't they telling us anything? They should be the first ones saying it.
Why do we have to hunt to find a score? Hunt. Why do we have to hunt to find out who won?
I found out Mario he won because Mez Q's posted it.
It's crazy. Like, are you professionals or not? Like, it only matters if you're there what the score is? I'm not there. I want to know what the score is.
This is the biggest thing. This is why pool can't grow. It's because there's so much nonsense going on. Can it just be black and white for once?
You run one event a year. Can you post some scores? You know, one event a year. Can you tell the people that are not in Jacksonville who won? For the people that working stiffs, they're not sitting around watching matches all day, can you tell us who won the event? Is it too much to ask for you to either put it on your social media or put it on your website? Is that too much to ask?
Somewhere. We shouldn't have to be looking for scores from Dunsky just to find out stuff.
Although it's fun going to his page.
Yeah.
The biggest, I would say the biggest compliment, I don't want to call it a compliment. Comment, let's say that I get from everyone, pros, followers, everyone, is how I constantly update the scores for events on the story page. I used to put it on the main page. I don't do that anymore. It clogs up the page. I unfortunately was not available the last 2 weeks, and I didn't do it. And I got, I don't know, maybe 5 or 10 messages, 7, I don't know. Where's the scores? I was busy with life, so I couldn't get you the scores. I'm sorry. But now when I'm trying to prepare for having the show and want to talk about who played who and the whole, so this is my thing. We're scratching international who won, who off. Because Pat, if you can't take 2 minutes to talk about who won, if I have to see a post from Q-Tech that Shane won Bigfoot. I'm not telling anybody who won your event. I'm not talking about your event. If you don't care enough, I don't care enough. Scratch it off the agenda. Fuck that. What's next?
We can move from one big tournament into the biggest tournament. It's that time of year, buddy.
5 minutes ago I was ready to go to bed. Now you got me all wired up. I'm drinking water.
This is a liquor-free show.
Still like it, Pat, but it's a knucklehead move. I still like the Sandman. Ed, still a good guy, but it's a knucklehead move that you can't put a score on. They're going to tell me it was on some, Q4 or you know what? But I don't know where it is. And I'm not hunting your page to find out where it is to hunt it. Just put your scores up. Yeah. You can't announce who the winner is of your event? Come on. That's Bush League. Ed, that's Bush League. And in our sport, that's called APA. So that's APA, pal. Okay?
You'd be handing out patches.
Tournament like that in Jacksonville, all the top players, and you can't post the scores?
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about Mosconi Cup.
It's here.
I have this cheat. It's here. We have purposely avoided talking about it all year.
We had an edict to get to at least October or later to not talk about Mosconi.
We did pretty good because we did talk about the flow thing a few weeks ago. You had mentioned something to me earlier today. The International is a WNT event, and Filler was there. How come he's allowed to play that, but he's not allowed to play this?
Yeah, him and Albin. Yeah.
Weird. The rules change.
Yeah. Every day. No transparency, nothing.
I don't know. Transparency. Come on. It's not your business. It's not your business how the sport is run. Not your business. I did do some homework for this. For this event, I want to tell you some fun facts for the kids at home. The event runs from the 30th through the 3rd. Although my guess is they're not going to need that last day, but we'll get information.
There's going to be some 3-match days there, believe me.
For whatever reason, And my theory is because somebody in the Matchroom organization wanted to go to Disney for vacation, the event this year is being held in Orlando, which I like Orlando. I've been to it 100 times. I've been to Disney 20 times. But I don't believe that, in my opinion, not that my opinion matters, and I don't get a vote, but I get a vote on this show. And on this show, Orlando's a dumb place to have this event.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like a regular tournament. If you've ever been to a regular tournament in a room where it's the tournament that's going 10, 12 hours for the day, this is, 4 hours. There's a morning session, an afternoon session, or I should say an afternoon and an evening session. Like, what do you do? Because you're not there with your family, most likely. You didn't bring your kids to Matchroom, most likely, right? To Mosconi. So now what are you going to do? You're going to go hang out by yourself or with your buddies with Mickey Mouse and drop another grand? What are you going to do? You're sitting there. Dumb. It's dumb.
I think this just shows the logistics of that Emily Frazier's willing to go to. She crowbarred in this international event later on in the year just so it matches up with the Mosconi Cup and they don't have to lose money on table traveling and seats and all that stuff. It's just so ridiculous how they're crowbarring in these events just to get them to pair up with things.
The fight with WPA started with, I'm not going to pay you money. Matchroom said, I'm not paying you money.
They rented 9-ball. They're supposed to pay a VIG for it, and they refused to do it.
What do you want to bet that International paid Matchroom money to make it a WNT event?
Yeah.
They're taking the money out. Scoundrels. Let me continue, please. All right. For, if you're living in a cave and you don't know this, for Team Europe, we have Captain Jason Shaw, Tkatch, David Alcady, Mickey Krause, and FSR. And that's the first time ever that I've been able to say all the team players' names correctly. I can say Francisco Sanchez Ruiz. Okay. I say FSR all the time. Okay. For the Americans, the captain is Skylar Woodward. And I do want to tell you about a conversation I had with him the other day. Mr. Gorst, Shane Van Boening, Tyler Steyer, and Billy Thorpe. And again, if you're living in a cave, you will have noticed that Mr. Filler is not on the list. And that is because he got kicked off. And because transparency is non-existent, we don't know why.
Can we say Albin too? Albin's a long-time Mosconi Cupper.
Removed. You could say Albin too. I mean, yeah.
Probably less profile than Josh, but still important cog.
For sure. And I'm not going to go through every day, but I'll just go through the first day. The format is match 1, team match, match 2, doubles, match 3, singles, match 4, doubles, and then match 5, singles. All players must play at least once in matches 2, 3, and 4. So 2, 3, and 4 is 2 is doubles, 3 is single, and 4 is doubles. And there's a lot more rules. And I'm not going to go into it. You can go to Matchroom's page and read all this. They do a very good job of spelling it out. Matchroom has no problem with the rules on here, but they have a lot of problem with telling us how they got to wherever they got. The prize fund, which I referenced earlier. The winning team gets $40,000 per player, and the runner-up gets $20,000. Another thing that's kind of late. I thought it was kind of late. It was getting first week of November. Was the title sponsor, which is Bet Online. I don't know anything about gambling. Can we use that in America?
I don't know. I think we got like DraftKings and stuff out here like that.
Here are the times. It's not 2 sessions like it was in the past. All matches will begin at 1 p.m. Orlando time. Excuse me.
Salud.
Oh, thank you. So it's not 2. It's even actually worse. It's actually worse about going to Disney. All matches will start at 1 o'clock, and the session goes from 1 to 6. So now what do you do? So you wake up, you have breakfast, you twiddle your thumbs until
Yeah.
lunch, you go catch the matches from 1 to 6, you go to dinner, and now what? I don't know. It's an odd place. It's not the end of the world that it's there. I'm not making it like just odd place. Also, there's a million places you can watch it, but here in America, it's the Zone. Merchandise is available. You ordered what shirt? A Team USA shirt?
Yeah.
Is it good looking? I mean, I know you didn't get it yet, but
This year they look kind of dumpy, but it is what it is. I get one every year.
oh, listen to this, Pat. Listen to this. You can keep track of all the action as it unfolds across Matchroom Pool social media channels. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, TikTok, and YouTube. Hey, Pat.
What a novelty.
And then it's got who the sponsors are. You know, nobody really unusual. Anyway, you can go on Matchroom's page to get all that. You listen, there's a million things that we could get into about matching this person, I don't think that's for today. Yeah, I think it's, it's going to be interesting because you got two new captains with Jason and Skylar. I do want to
This is
take
the first year without a coach. No.
You're right. Well, I mean,
no Jeremy Jones. No Ralph Eckert.
Right. Listen, something new, something different.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. But I don't usually get into, as you know, I usually don't get into my conversations I have with Skylar. I never want to feel uncomfortable about talking about stuff. But I feel pretty confident that what we talked about the other day, he wouldn't care if I tell him. 14 people that watch the show. I said, good job on the Billy pick. I'm kind of ad-libbing here. I said, I'm surprised. I said, I'm glad you did it, but I'm surprised that it happened. He asked me why. I said, I thought for sure that someone, I said it that way to be a knucklehead. I said, I thought for sure somebody would influence your decision and make you pick another way. And he said, actually, Jay, it was 100% my pick. Nobody influenced me. Nobody from Matchroom said, we want you to do this. We want you to do that. They told me to make a pick, and I made a pick. And I said, I'm happy to hear that because I think sometimes some people in that organization would get involved in things that they shouldn't be involved in.
Yeah.
So it was good, and he's very familiar with my love-hate relationship with Matchroom. So I don't really hate him. I just some things they do are just weird. But I could say the same thing about the NFL or the NBA or whatever. Anyway, so I said, I'm not asking you anything. I'm just curious. Have you thought about it? The matchups, this and that. He said, yeah, I thought about a million things. I said, well, whatever you do, I'm sure guys like me some of us are gonna applaud you, and some of us are gonna talk shit about you. I said, and he said, and he knows that. I said, and I want you to know, because I'm your friend, doesn't mean I'm not one of the guys that I will have no problem talking shit about you. And he said, I know that. He's such a good guy. So there's a million things you could say. The big thing with the Billy pick is the chemistry and keeping the team pumped up.
Yeah,
because he works the crowd.
And he's a gamer.
Curious.
He plays his best in that situation.
Yes, he does. and I guess I could say this now. I'm sure it's public knowledge, but he did just do some training with Johan a few weeks ago, and then literally like 2 days, 3 days later, he went to play an event, and then he won.
Yeah, paid
So,
dividends. Yeah,
so good for him. I think because of I don't want to say that I know anything because I don't. I haven't spoken to him recently. But I would say that based on some of the turmoil that he has been in recently, it behooves him to settle down and
play the game.
play and not be distracted and not, um, and I think that he spent money because Johan's not cheap, and that he invested in his game that way, I think is a good indication of where his head is. So good for him. I also think the whole filler album thing certainly creates storyline, but it's not the end all be all. It's not the end of the world. And I like that it gives a different look for the European team. I like that Mickey is on the team. I like seeing somebody different for them, and he's certainly been a dynamic player this year on the schedule. So let's hear your comments about it. And I don't want to go into a 15-minute diatribe. We'll do that afterwards and why they do this and all that stuff. Uh, let's hear your thoughts about the event, and then let's hear predictions.
You know what I've been chewing on about Billy is yes, I'm excited he's on the team. I think he's a gamer. I think he plays his best in this situation. Will he sacrifice pumping up the team? Will that hurt him in his game? Who knows? But the thing is, do you think this is a last chance for Billy?
Wow.
If he goes to the Mosconi Cup and he lays a total egg,
how many eggs has Shane? How many eggs have Shane? I think there's two factors. Number one, how many eggs has Shane? I mean, Shane has consistently been not a huge contributor, right? The other thing is, if it's not Billy, then who? You're going to bring Wolfer back. It's not like there's somebody. They're dying to get somebody in there, right? The other thing is, unless, and I don't see this happening, unless Skylar Woodward does something atrocious where he's not going to be a part of Matchroom anymore, which I doubt will happen. A guy's married, or whatever you call it, 2 kids, he's settled down, he's not out there, he's not out there doing knucklehead things. I wanted to tell you a knucklehead story. So my point being, is because it's easy to say for the next 10 years, Skylar will definitely be involved with Mosconi Cup, unless there's some monkey wrench. Because Skylar and Billy are best friends, I'm not saying Billy's a lock for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's his last chance. I don't think so. I want to tell you a story. Many of you know the story because many of you were either watching it because it happened live on the stream, or I talked about it. But a few years ago, I was in Oklahoma at an event. The main event was Shane versus Dennis DeCorleo. And for whatever reason, the promoter of the event, Phil, thought it would be a good idea to have Billy and Skylar commentate. You remember this? Do you remember the story?
Yeah.
Have Billy and Skylar commentate the final 20 games or so. I remember I was there. I was there all week. I remember seeing them in the booth and having just talked to them maybe 20 minutes before that and wondered what they were in the booth doing. because when I had talked to them 20 minutes before, they were just at the event. They weren't playing. Because when I had talked to them the 20 minutes prior, they were piss drunk. Like drunk as drunk. And now they're in the booth. And I thought maybe it was commercial or I don't know what. So I went over and I said to Skylar, "Why are you in here?" And he goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "Why are you sitting here?" He said, "We're going to commentate." And I said, "Get the fuck out of here. You slurred your words and you're drunk as a skunk. Both of you, like, neither one of you can drive a car. You can barely walk. Don't go in there." And needless to say, it is the single greatest disaster in the history of pool as far as commentating goes. It's ridiculous. I think it's been scrubbed from the internet. Let's hope for their sake.
No, I use the audio on one of my videos.
I think it actually is still on the internet.
Yeah.
But listen to this. At that event, I did an interview. I believe I still have the clip, and if I do, I'll post it up this weekend. That was the era of Billy and Sky having their mullets. And I did an interview with them. I remember where we were. This is not the same day, a different day at the event. I was there a week. Those two guys doing an interview with me that I posted on the old Level2Billiards page. That was so funny because they were giving us tips on proper hair care for a mullet, what kind of shampoo to use. It was funny. It was funny.
What do they call them? Freedom flappers?
Yes. Yeah. So I'll post that up this weekend. What else you got?
Yeah, just I have a video where I'm playing pool and I use the audio from those last few racks with Skylar and Billy in the booth. Some of the best shit.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
This is the best I've ever seen Dennis play. Oh my god!
Because it was a big comeback, and it was. It's actually I'm friends with both of those guys, and it's unlistenable.
Yeah.
But if you can find it, go look. It's Oklahoma, Dennis, and Shane. I just want to look real quick. I'm gonna lock in now with you. The event starts Saturday, and then in theory it goes till Tuesday. So let's lock in that we, if you can, I don't know what your schedule is, maybe a quick show Sunday night. Let's talk about the first 2 days.
Let's also make this some audience participation. What would you guys like to see? Leave in the comments below. Do you guys want us to wrap up each day? Do you want us to do just final at the end?
Yeah. Or not each day. I'm not that available. So I think a good thing to do is talk about. This is one way we could do it is do a quick show on Sunday night.
Right. Okay.
And then do a show on Wednesday.
So we'll do like a halfway and then a complete wrap up.
Yeah. Because I'm saying that despite Filler not being on the team, I still don't think USA wins.
They still got Tkatch.
Tkatch's going to murder them.
Yeah.
I think Tkatch is their strongest player, actually, on that team, on that squad.
Especially after he laid an egg at the Reyes Cup. I think he's looking for blood.
Yeah. What you got a prediction? Does USA have a chance? Listen, remember the other thing we talked about, the Reyes Cup? We were totally all wrong on that.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll be wrong on this one.
Well, we were also determining that Josh Filler was going to be a teammate, and they took that away from us too. But look, I'm always going to say USA no matter what. I'm a homer. I'm a USA guy. I'm always going to pick them. But
Yeah,
being from
but
Vegas, and not betting with my heart,
yeah.
I want to say that they make it a tiny bit close, maybe 11-7 Europe.
I was thinking 11-8, 11-9 Europe, but like you, also a Vegas guy. I'm going to cheer every day. I'm going to cheer for USA,
Yeah,
but I hope they win, and I'll be very happy if they win. But I don't think they're one thing that you could maybe say could play a part of it is because of, and it's not all the same players, but what happened in the Philippines might be something for them to play differently, or
yeah, they're going to be puckered up. And look, there was bad conditions. It was hot. It was humid. The
yeah.
tables were slightly askew.
I
I
forget
think
which
those things
player,
are
but
going to be
somebody told me that.
fixed.
Oh, I remember the player. I'm not going to tell you who. One of the players that played there reached out to me. A top name. I'm not some random dude. A top name reached out to me. He told me it was miserable. It
I
was
bet.
miserable.
Yeah.
Which is odd. It's Matchroom. Why are you doing that, Matchroom? Why are you doing that? Up again, Bush League. And I'm not looking to criticize Matchroom every time they make a silly mistake, but that's a dumb one.
Yeah, they're bringing over
One.
9 and 10-foot diamond tables. They can't bring in an air conditioning.
Like the temperature is going to be hot. Um, and I don't know anything about the Philippines, but there's got to be an air conditioner on that island somewhere. It's got to be.
Manny Pacquiao can't loan anybody one.
Because they normally have those big events. I mean, you know this in the mall. I
Yeah,
guess in the mall they have air conditioning. In the mall, to me, the mall is an odd place to have an event, but it's certainly big enough. Get that. It's actually pretty cool when they're in the mall. All right. What else we have to talk about? Shoutouts.
shout-outs. We're at that point.
Why would you go first this week?
Well, sir, my shout out is to a guy who I greatly admire. In a few weeks, I will hit the 10-year point of being clean from opiates and hard drugs.
For you.
The guy who look, many people have helped me along the way. My father's a major catalyst in that, but the guy who showed me the light is his name's Chris Herron. Those of you who don't know who Chris Herron is, he had a 30 for 30 ESPN 30 for 30 on him. Very famous story. He was a Boston Celtic. More close to my heart is he played for Jerry Tarkanian, and anybody from Las Vegas knows exactly who Jerry Tarkanian is. He's a championship college basketball coach.
1990.
Chris had some problems, and Jerry Tarkanian gave him a second chance, and he kind of went through these lives, being an addict, and he found his way eventually, and he got his story out there, and his story is something I heard. Being an athlete and a junkie, it hit home for me, and when I seen his story, I was so moved by it. I sat there and cried, and I got help the next day. And one of the people, being in the age of social media, I was able to reach out to Chris, and he's not one of those people who yeahs you. He is so active in people that reach out to him about recovery. He's such a cheerleader for me, and he's always congratulating me on the goals that I hit
You
because
still talk to him?
of his. I still talk to him. I'll
Nice.
send him a message on the day I hit my 10 years, and he'll tell me how proud he is of me and that he loves me and that we're in it together. So my shout out is Chris Herron, because without him, I'd probably be dead right now.
Oh, that's a good one. Mine's not as compelling as yours. Mine's actually funny, and I'm only saying it to push your buttons. It's not a long speech. I just want to shout out my friend from Texas. Her name's Arianna. I just want to say hi. Hi, my friend from Texas, who's a pool player. APA, I think she plays, right?
Hey,
you know
back
her, right?
off. That's my girl.
Yeah, I know that's your girl. I just want to say hi to her. If you don't follow her, you should. I don't know her. It's Arianna something.
It's
She plays at
La
Boogies.
Leona.
She plays at Boogies in Houston. And I just say hi. Hi, Arianna. Hi. I'm not allowed to talk to you, Arianna, but I can shout you out, pal.
Don't fall for it.
Yes, don't fall for it, Arianna. Whatever I'm doing, don't fall for it.
I'm Italian. We're possessive.
For you kids at home, look for the new show coming to Level 2 Billiards with Jay and Arianna. We'll be airing each and every Thursday afternoon.
The J&A show.
I'm kidding about that. Well, no, I'm just going to... I thought about it the other day. I'm just going to start a second show. I told you already. You thought I was kidding. I'm starting a second show. I'm going to have her as the host. Because I can't... Because, number one, it'll make you go crazy. That's one reason to do it. And number two, by far and away, and I'm not saying this means spirited, by far and away, she's prettier than you.
Yeah.
And me too. So
I'm starting to get a lot of grays. I've lost. Oh, that's
anything else? Oh,
yeah. Well,
we got to tell somebody happy birthday.
Oh yes. Yes. Our buddy, our friend, respected pool player, famous flat earther, fellow Christian, Max Eberly. Happy birthday, buddy. Salud.
Happy birthday, Max. Can you reach out to him and see if we do a show on Sunday or Tuesday, or reach out to him and see if he'll join us. I can do it, but you guys are best friends lately.
We're just adults with common interests.
You and Arianna should do the show every week. That's actually and then I could be the guest. And I'll make you a co-owner of the page. Not that it has any value, but...
So we'll don't forget to talk about our friends at Off the Rail.
Actually, today I'm wearing Fort Worth Billiards.
Albert, our
no
good
longer
buddy.
A sponsor, but I still love the guy, and really I didn't know where my account was for the guys that actually does sponsor me. Say his name again.
Off the Rail.
Off the Rail. Off the Rail is at some show I saw he posted the other day.
He got some nice diamond hats. I like those.
He's got a lot of cool stuff lately. Oh, international he's at. He's got a lot of cool, he's always had cool stuff. But more cool stuff. I look forward to seeing what the trophies are.
Yeah, that's going to be good. I'm getting excited about the categories. Me and my co-host Arianna, we did something similar at the beginning of the year.
You did?
Yeah,
she was on the show with you?
My very first show was we did something similar to that.
And that's on YouTube?
Yes, it is.
You and her?
Yes, it is.
Next week, me and Arianna are doing a show. And I don't care if it hurts your feelings.
I forbid it.
I have to go look at that. I'm not telling you guys at home why I'm suddenly the biggest fan in the world of Arianna, but Rob knows why. And Arianna knows why. And I'm thinking about going to Houston for vacation.
It's just because they have Whataburger there.
They do have Whataburger there. All right, can you hit the end button?
Hey, you can see us on all our social medias. I won't spell them out for you. Watch the show, all 6-7 of you. Go USA.
Yay.
Salud.
Bye.
Level 2 Billiards. We have fun here.